forgot what the second one is. I think this is the major one. It's that time again for the hyperstition. Write down a goal and meditate on it for 5 minutes. Let me tell you a little story about the power of doing this. So there was a building in St. Louis that opened up called 100 Above the Park. It was designed by a really well-known architect called Gang is the name of Studio Gang is the architect house. It is a tall glass tower that looks like inverted stacked cups maybe. It's a very interesting novel tower that went up in St. Louis. And I wrote down, despite not having much money, despite just getting a new job, that I would live in this building. I think maybe I even started dreaming about it before I even had a job, and I had just moved from Utah to St. Louis, and with my family actually. It was a pretty poor situation, but I wrote down this goal. And I don't know, one day in the summer of, I think, 2020, while listening to a Tony Robbins thing, and I had to drive to get a surgery for my throat, something snapped in my mind, and I basically just knew or decided that I was going to live in this really expensive, the best building in the city. And so when I got back from that surgery, I moved into the building. I went to the building, did a tour, put on a suit, all this stuff. And months down the line, I was living in the building. It was one of the coolest places I've ever lived. And my next door neighbor was basically the all-star outer fieldman, the Golden Glove for the St. Louis Cardinals. And incidentally, apparently, one of the favorite players of my boss or my boss's assistant or something. It was kind of a wild thing to have happen. But it was all because I wrote down a goal that I was just going to live in this building. There's some really powerful things you can do with that. And I think the people that I, the ball player that I met doing this, because of this goal setting, I think that's a sort of side effect of doing things like this. The universe just puts you in the way of people who are interesting or, on the same path or similar path or things of that nature. When you write down your goals and you actually create a path, you allow the universe to sort of lock into your path and plan out other paths to sort of meet up. It sort of harmonizes all of the randomness just by meditating. So write down your goal and meditate on it for 5 minutes. And perhaps I could say that this rant about meditation might be my own meditation on a goal that I have written down. But I do actually need to rewrite the goals, so one moment while I do that. Okay, I see the timer is up. I'm almost finished writing these. Maybe I need a pre-game timer to explain the goal setting, or to give me space to explain it before I just start the meditation timer. Okay, so I wrote those goals down. So the stream says, I'm not sure exactly what the stream says. I think it just says Tuesday stream or something. We have some people here. Flump says hello. Time-lapse corner says yo, happy Tuesday everyone. Literally an egg says damn everyone, so early it's like 2 a.m. here, cool. Time-lapse corner says interesting. Flumpsy says HackMatrix feels like something you would see in VR. And hello. Yeah, it does feel like something you would see in VR. I think one of the reasons why the Wayland port is useful beyond the need for NVIDIA. So I'm actually just working on a document, but it's probably going to become a video or maybe an essay or something. Probably not an essay, actually. Okay, well, that's a funny writing here. Flump says, question for you. Last time I tried HackMatrix, the sensitivity seemed to be so high that I couldn't really use it at all. I guess it depends on what you mean by sensitivity. So if you mean by keyboard sensitivity, which is what I would call speed, so that means that you would probably be doing this, where like you tried to go to a window and you couldn't, like, you'd go through it or whatever. There are already controls that allow for that. Whoops, sorry. Is that what it was, Flumpsy? Mouse sensitivity. Oh, okay, mouse sensitivity. That's strange. I have never had. I've used this on several laptops with like hardware mice. I've never had hardware or mouse sensitivity problems. So I don't know. Anyways, so I just wanted to make a quick stream about, I guess, me working on Wayland port a retrospective, which is a document and probably going to be a video about just what happened in the port. So, adios. Have a good day, guys. Wait, one more comment. Some people have very different opinions on what is the ideal sensitivity, though. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, adios. Have a good day. I'll be back on stream probably. Oh, wait. This is actually a bug, I think. Before I close stream, Flumps, I'm not sure how you're starting this, but if you're saying that when you move the mouse, you just look down or up, that is actually some sort of bug, likely due to you not opening it in DRM mode. You're probably launching it in with an X backend where you have like another compositor open. But if you are launching in DRM mode, that's a little weird because I've actually never experienced that particular bug in DRM mode, although I have experienced it in other modes. So if that's the case, then maybe I need to resolve that, because that's actually a real bug. But I think I need to get just a new release out, and then everyone can pen their bugs to the new release, basically. So that's probably the right thing for me to do. Anyways, adios. Flumpsy, I guess you could have tried out the Wayland port when it was like in a broken state, because it wasn't a broken state.